This is the best gaming mouse, keyboard, and headset under 500 bucks combined. If at any point during the video you want to check out any of these peripherals, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But let's jump into it. Starting it off right, obviously, we're gonna start with the keyboard, which is the Corsair K70 TKL Champion Series. Let's move these other peripherals out of the way until we get to them. But this thing, it is absolutely awesome and probably one of the best keyboards for gaming out there. So let's go over it. First of all, TKL layout. It's got a volume wheel. You've got some mute up here. You've got a lock for your Windows key down there. So when you're in game, you can lock that so you won't accidentally hit your window key. You've got the different lighting settings right there for your RGB. We're gonna turn off the just backlight glow, which we'll get to that in a minute, but let's keep going. So first of all, you have music controls, which is really big with me because I listen to a lot of music on my PC. And then obviously you got all of these function keys. You got your multimedia keys and you got those arrow keys. Now these are double shot PBT keycaps. And the really cool thing is if you see right here, these W, A, S, D, E, and F are these really freaking cool. As you can see there, they're a little bit different. Those are actually texturized and concaved, or is it convexed, to your fingers, and they're like super grippy. And honestly, does it make a massive difference while gaming? No, I mean, it's definitely nicer than typical keycaps for gaming, but the coolest thing is that it's like really fun to be able to put those on there and have something different and also feel like it's made for gaming, which this thing absolutely is. Okay, so let's go over it. The top half is a solid piece of metal. It literally goes from the top here and then it goes down here. That is a solid piece of metal. There is no cuts here. There's no multi pieces. This is one piece of bent metal, which is so freaking cool. And then going back to the back, we do have side risers right there, which I do really like. They are very grippy and you see you have a ton of rubber right here. Now, this is one of the things with the back that I really don't like. And this is probably the only thing that I don't like, is it sounds a little bit hollow. And for how much money you're paying for this, which is $137. Yes, this is a bit pricey, but you can definitely see why you're gonna pay this. And let's go over it. So, okay, so first of all, let's pull these keycaps off. This is using Cherry MX silver switches, which yes, they are not my favorite. I probably would have put some Gateron yellows in this. However, they do have quick actuation, I think at 1.2 millimeters, which means it's only gonna take you, instead of having to push down the key this much for it to actuate, now you're only gonna have to push down this much, pretty much half what typical switches will take. Most are 2 millimeters. This one, when you press that down, it's only 1.1, or is it 1.2? All right, then beyond that, the RGB is fantastic. This is Corsair. And like I said, this thing doesn't sound amazing, as you can see right now. But as you would expect with a $135 keyboard, the stabilizers are really good. So let's get a listen to those. Zero rattle, no rattle at all, which is awesome. But now let's talk about some of the gaming performance things on this keyboard that makes it so special. So right here, up at the top, you'll see this little switch right here that has this little cover. So the coolest thing, this thing is so gimmicky, but I absolutely love it. The coolest thing is you can turn this switch, and once you pop it, turns the entire keyboard a red color, which looks absolutely awesome. But besides that, after that, you have this little flip up right there that you can flip it up, and it just snaps down there so you can't move it. So it's like you're locked in now. This is the Champion switch. Okay, so basically what this does is, first of all, it locks everything to a gaming mode. Turns off all the distracting, I don't find it distracting, but distracting backlight, so it's just red, it's gamery. But this is the huge thing. This thing has an 8,000 hertz polling rate, which yes, absolutely is overkill. No, it's probably not going to make that big of a difference over a typical 1,000 hertz polling rate keyboard. That being said, it will have some impact. And this keyboard is about being the fastest, the most gamery, having all of this cool stuff, having a little lock button right here. You feel like you're doing something, you press it in, you press it out, you have this cool flip that literally flips it, and you take it out, you put it in, and you lock yourself in gaming mode. There's no point in having this little switch right here. There's no point in having that little locking mechanism, except that it's awesome. Now, as far as modding, you can mod this with a custom keyboard cable because it just uses USB-C right there. It does kind of have an indentation, which is not gonna be as easy because some thicker custom cables won't fit in there. That being said, the one mod that I probably would do is fill this thing with some rubber or some foam because again, it can sound a little bit hollow, but those stabilizers, when jumping in some games, quite good. Let's move on to the headset, which is actually also from Corsair. This is the Corsair Virtuoso RGB XTs. These things are the top of the line that you can get from Corsair wireless headset, coming in at $257 as of shooting. These things are pricey and they are absolutely awesome. Let's go over it. Okay, so number one, the first thing that you realize when you get these things is holy crap, they are premium. I mean, they just feel amazing. So much metal on this thing. The build quality, unbelievable. Okay, so you can see here, they have these awesome exposed metal edges. God, I love that exposed metal edge. That is not only on these little bands right here, not only on this, but it is on the mic, which has a ton of metal on it. On the mic right here, you have, again, that machined edge right there on the top, on the bottom. All of this is metal. This is all metal here. You also get it even on this part where it connects to the headset. And you can see, I don't know if you can see in the details, we will get this on B-roll, but it's all of these tiny little cuts. I mean, the machining on this thing, nothing was spared. This just looks absolutely amazing. Obviously, this is all turns, stays exactly how you want it to. Now let's go over the ports on this thing. I reviewed too many monitors. You plug in the headset right there. You do have a little mute button on the bottom, which will actually show up. Actually, let's turn these on right now. And you can see this shows up in a little bit of white right there. If you click the button right on the bottom of the mic, you can see you click it on, it turns it to on, you click it off, it then turns red. So you know in your peripheral view when wearing these, if it's on or off, you just click it and it's on or off. Again, that button is metal with machined edges. So cool. And then to continue with the ports, you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone. You then have USB-C for charging or connectivity. And then you have, which I really like, a physical on and off switch, which again is metal. It's metal, but it's physical. So it's not a button that you hold, which honestly, I don't mind it too much, but it's so much nicer to have a physical on or off switch. That's what I really like. So again, if it's on Wi-Fi, you use your little 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle. And then right here, again, in that machined metal, you got the volume wheel up or down. Now there's no clicks, there's no tactility here. I kind of wish it was tactile, although it's very nice. It's not like spinny. It definitely has some resistance to it, and it's very accurate, and it's super nice because it's all metal, again, with machined edges. Absolutely insane. Now here, this is also Bluetooth. So if you don't want it through your 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle, through the USB Type-C or a 3.5 millimeter cable, you can use this with Bluetooth. So you can even jam with this to your phone, which is awesome. You have volume up, volume down, and even a press play or pause or resume button right there in the middle. Absolutely awesome. All these, as you can hear, everything sounds and feels really freaking solid. Okay, then here on the sides, this is kind of like a circular pattern, okay? This is, you can feel your finger will kind of go around it. They got a little bit of RGB in there. It's not crazy bright or anything, and it kind of like changes with how you move the headset. However, you're never gonna see that anyway. I really do like that this is nice and bright RGB on here because it literally has some functionality to it, which a lot of these mics don't, but I think that's really nice. And then all on here, this might look like, oh, maybe that's plastic. No, this is solid metal right here. All of this is solid metal. You're not gonna have any problems with durability with this headset. All right, but the top band, super cushy. Obviously, you would expect that super cushy. And then the earmuffs are, again, a super cushy pleather. Now, even on the inside of this, you can see it has Razer's little crisscross design, which they really like. And I really like it too. And I think overall, this is such a really, really good looking pair of headset. Putting this on, and you can see it looks fantastic. It definitely is an over-ear rather than an on-ear, which we don't like. All right, but I can talk about the headset all I want for $257. $257, that is a quarter of $1,000 for a headset. Is this worth it? Absolutely, if you have the money. The spatial audio on this is really good. it overall sounds amazing, and it's definitely like a very premium top-end headset. Now, one of the things that I don't like, and you're like, you better like everything for $257, the mic doesn't sound the best. And in fact, on the Corsair HS80s, I think that is a way better mic than this one. Now, obviously, it is harder when you do have a wired headset to do mic quality. However, I feel like for that price, this should be the best mic that Corsair offers, but it's not, because the HS80s in a wireless headset does have a better mic. That being said, if you're on Discord, it's not gonna make a massive difference. Your friends are still gonna be able to hear you. They still heard me perfectly when I was on Discord with them. But the audio quality is absolutely fantastic on these. And yeah, I do think they're worth almost $260. I also will say these are fantastic for sim racing, but let's move on to the mouse. All right, and this is not a lightweight mouse, but this is the Razer Basilisk V3. Oh my God, I love this mouse. This is my absolute favorite mouse ever, period, right now. I absolutely love this thing. All right, so number one, this isn't a lightweight mouse, but it's also not heavy and crazy heavy like the Logitech G502. This thing is just above 100 grams, which does sound heavy comparing it to all of these super lightweight mice that we see nowadays. However, it's just not a heavy mouse, especially with all of the grips. And let's go over that. That's one of the best parts. They have injection molding on the left and the right with a really, really nice texture. This adds a freaking amazing amount of comfort and grippiness to this thing. And comfort goes with grippiness because you don't have to grab onto it as hard. It fits in your hand really, really nicely. Now, this is bigger than the Logitech G502. Logitech G502 just has a little tiny thumb mount, whereas this thing's got a really big one. Now, even if you have bigger or medium-sized hands, this thing fits amazingly. I don't have massive hands, but yeah, obviously the design is way better than the G502 in my opinion. You get amazing RGB as well on the mouse wheel. You get almost 360-degree lighting right there, which is awesome because you can actually see that when it's on your desk. As you can see the actual RGB element, which I really am a fan of. And then you have the Razer logo back there. Now, I think this is probably the most attractive mouse ever made. And yes, I know that's a very bold statement, but as far as a gaming mouse, rather than a minimalistic mouse, it is just perfect. Everything about it is absolutely perfect. And yes, I know they took the design from Logitech. Who cares? They made it better. The tracking is fantastic. It goes up to something like 26,500 DPI. It's got a sniper button that's obviously all this stuff can be pre-programmed, but it's got a sniper paddle right there. Some people didn't like that it's not detachable like the V2 was, although I don't mind it because I use it all the time when I'm sniping. It's then got two buttons right here, which are nice. You got another button on the top right here. And then the crazy awesome thing is the scroll wheel. This button comes pre-programmed to change the scroll wheel between a free-flying freewheel, or you click it again, and then it is a tactile mode, which is really nice and tactile. So for when going through some guns, switching between anything like that, this thing is really, really nice. Now beyond that, the feet are 100% PTFE, so this thing glides really well as well. It is much lighter, like I said, than the G502, so it glides quite a bit better than that mouse. It also has this ultralight, I think they call it the Hyperflex or something, the Razer Hyperflex cable. Basically, it's just a lightweight mouse cable. It's really nice. Nothing really to be said more about that, but the clicks are really, really good. These are the second generation optical switches from Razer, and they are the most tactile I think I've felt on a mouse. Quite nice clicks. They're optical, so they're gonna last longer, they're more reliable, and they sound better. Get a listen to that. But yeah, you pair the RGB, the comfort, the great tracking, the scroll wheel, which goes between tactile and freewheel. You got a ton of customizable buttons, and then you pair everything together with your headset, keyboard, and mouse. This thing absolutely rocks gaming. And again, yes, some of these things are really expensive, like the headset. The keyboard is pretty expensive, and even the mouse is pretty expensive for 70 bucks. But I think all of them are well worth their price. Again, if you have that money, and for under $500, you're getting a superb gaming experience with fast actuation and an insane polling rate. And it honestly just had all these little gimmicks that make me absolutely love it. A super premium headset that is super comfortable, fantastic audio quality, and obviously that build quality. And then probably the world's most comfortable and best looking mouse with some awesome switches. Yes, this is my go-to for under 500 bucks for gaming. Again, if you want to check out any of these peripherals, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But yeah, tell me if you like this new format and this new studio with the budget peripheral combination videos. I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting to actually show them while I'm talking about them with the overhead shot. Tell me if you guys like it below. But this is a consumer tech review. If you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you, help me out and throw a like below. And if you like videos like this, there's an entire playlist you can watch right here or right here that is all about budget peripheral, I guess not budget, not this one, but peripheral combinations for gaming. Check it out right here, right here. This is a consumer tech review, and I'll see you guys in the next video.